give me a minute. I'm printing out something for you guys. So enjoy the rockin' music here. Who likes 80s? Come on, someone? Okay, print. All right, these lights are really kind of bright, so hang on. What a dance. Dee Dee, I love you. She says so much love for the 80s. Good times. Heck yeah. I mean, seriously. This is like the best song ever. Okay, who can name who sang the song? And don't Google it. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'm gonna go get my printout and you think about it. Don't Google it. Don't cheat. I can't get my printer to work, but that's okay. I will give you guys the link to what I wanted to show you. Okay, I mean, I'm seriously rocking out here. By the way, that was Corey Hart. So I appreciate everyone's honesty for not Googling. I'm gonna kind of fade out here. I have 10 folks watching, so I wanna kind of move forward. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Marnie Craycroft, and I am responsible for Carrots Are Orange. Carrots Are Orange is a Montessori living and learning blog for parents and teachers. There's about a dozen of you watching right now. I would love to know who you are. And I see Dee Dee, you rock. I see Michelle Silver joins. Hi, Michelle. And I would love to know who you are and where you're coming from so we can kind of get to know each other a little bit. I do want to do some housekeeping as well. So for this Facebook Live, this is a mini training, okay? So get your thinking caps on. I did create a workbook for this mini training. So if you go to Marnie Craycroft, MarnieCraycroft /MMH, you will be prompted for your email, and then you'll automatically get that workbook. In fact, let me just put that in. I have my desktop up here so I can add links as I go through the training to help you guys out. Here I am. Okay, what did I say? MarnieCraycroft.com /MMH. Okay, so that should bring you right to the workbook. The workbook is really just a guide for you to get the most out of this training. If you can't get to it, if you can't get to a printer, please don't worry about it. But it will be a good resource for you. I'm going to stop for a second. Alethea, did I say that right, Alethea? Alethea is in LA. Oh, I was just going to sing a bad reference. I like to sing. I'm just going to get that out there. Okay, Alethea, you have a baby boy, 8.5 months. You're in it. I have 3 boys, 2, 5, and 7. Almost, my 5-year-old's almost 6. It's crazy times. Okay, and I see Jennifer. Jennifer's my buddy. She's one of my MMH students, actually. MMH is my Montessori Homeschool. So Jennifer, I'm happy you're here. A lot of this training you are going to get much more in depth in the homeschool course. So if you have to pop in and out, please don't be stressed out about that. I'm going to say hi to Robin. She also has a little guy, 12 months old. Wow, lots of boys. I love it. Michelle Silver, I know, has 3 boys and a little girl. She has 4. It's crazy. All right, guys, I gave you the housekeeping. Again, my name's Marnie. For those of you who don't know me, I'm responsible for Carrots Are Orange, Montessori Living and Learning. I am gonna begin this training by giving you a little bit of background on why we're here. Let's see, I wanna say it was April. Jennifer might be able to remember this because she was definitely a participant on this Facebook Live. I did a very spontaneous Facebook Live back last spring. It was very spontaneous. I was sitting upstairs, and we have a Montessori homeschool room upstairs, and I was looking around. I was thinking, gosh, I want to do a Facebook Live right now. And I got some things together. I decided to focus on practical life, and I decided to focus on basic exercises because, as many of you know, there are many, many, many lessons generally within Montessori, but particularly practical life. There's 4 main areas of practical life. So I chose basic exercises. It was super fun. I got to demonstrate the lessons for each of these practical life exercises. It was awesome. I had almost 3,000 people watch that Facebook Live. So that was validation right there that something needed to happen for the Montessori homeschooling community. And you don't have to be an official homeschooler, okay? You can be a parent that wants to bring Montessori into your home learning environment. I want to make that clear. This mini workshop, as well as a lot of my work, is focused on early childhood. So that's 0 to 6 years old. Of course, we can get more into the lower L, 6, 7, 8-year-old work as well, but the meat of what I do is early childhood. So a lot of parents are at home with their children. They want to do Montessori preschool at home. So the response I got from that Facebook Live was out of control, and it blew my mind. And I had people, including Jennifer, asking, hey, when's the next training? Hey, is there an online workshop that I can enroll in? This is exactly what I've been looking for. My heart melted because it meant a lot to me that so many people wanted to do Montessori right. They wanted to do right by Montessori. And that is so, I don't know, it's so heartwarming. I already said that it melted my heart. So apparently I'm very warm in my heart. But for those of you wanting to bring Montessori into your home, Montessori is a philosophy that you want to embrace, but you want to do it right. And there is an art. There's an art to the lessons. There is specifics about the materials. There's background about Maria Montessori that is important to bringing Montessori into your home learning environment. It's not just about, here's the content, good luck, hey guys. You really have to work hard. You have to practice. You have to, there's a lot that goes into it. Okay, so that's my spiel. Okay, that's why we're here today. But specifically, I wanted to talk to you all and to give you this mini training about the 3 phases to designing your Montessori homeschool. So these are critical steps that you have to take if you want to bring Montessori into your learning environment. And I really boiled it down here, okay? Because obviously there is so much to cover in Montessori. So I boiled it down to the 3 phases, and I may be looking at notes here and there, guys, but I'm right here with you, okay? I don't want you guys to think I'm distracted. I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. So the 3 phases to designing your Montessori homeschool. Number 1 is preparation. Number 2 is organization. And number 3 is planning. Okay, I know those aren't the most exciting terms in the entire world, but the acronym is cool. It's POP. And I like that acronym because this is precisely what you need. You need a POP. This is the POP you need in order to move forward with bringing Montessori into your home learning environment. Okay, so trust me on this. So preparation, phase 1, preparation is huge. Okay, if there's one thing I see most often with Montessori, with parents wanting to bring Montessori in, is that they kind of skip over this part. They want the materials, they want the lessons, they want the sequence, they want the scope. That's all really, really great. But there is a huge piece of Montessori that involves preparing yourself. And Maria Montessori put a lot of emphasis on this. And I know some of you watching do have a Montessori background. I see that Simi just joined. Hi, Simi. Simi's awesome, by the way. She has an amazing blog called Trillium Montessori. I'm sure a lot of you know her. She's a ton of resources, so definitely check it out. But Maria Montessori put a lot of emphasis on the spiritual preparation. One of my favorite books in the entire universe, and I know that this is backwards for you guys, so I will put the Amazon link so that you can get here, I'll put it in right now. So you can kind of get it up on your screen and see how it goes. But it's Nurturing the Spirit by Eileen Wolf. And it is chock full of awesomeness. And it covers everything from preparing yourself as the teacher, to preparing your classroom, to preparing the child. So this book came to me during my practical life training, and we studied it when we were really exploring our role in the classroom. But we also studied it a great deal when we were talking about the peace curriculum. Now, that's not something I'm going to talk about on this Facebook Live beyond this 2 sentences, because it's huge. That's a whole other Facebook Live. In fact, it's a whole module. It's a whole lesson within my Montessori course, actually. But the peace curriculum is huge within the Montessori environment. You have global peace, you have classroom peace, and you have inner peace, and there's a ton to it. But if you all are interested in preparing yourself truly to bring Montessori into the home, get this book. It's awesome. So here, let me give you guys the link here. Okay, that is an affiliate link, by the way, full disclosure. So here, let's dive a little bit deeper into preparing yourself. And again, I'm going to be looking at my notes, okay? I want to start with a quote. E.M. Standing wrote a wonderful, wrote a lot about Maria Montessori. And one quote is relevant particularly to the role of the teacher. There are 2 sins in particular which tend to distort our true vision of the child. They are pride and anger. Hence, humility and patience, their opposites, are the virtues most needed by the directress. How powerful is that, guys? I mean, seriously. It just kind of rocked my world. So, I mean, really, to break it down, you got to think about what you're bringing to the table. You got to think about the baggage that you are bringing to the table, because we are bringing it. We got to leave it at the door. And the kids, they feel our energy. And so the more that we can kind of we have to be self-aware so that we know what we're bringing to the table and what we need to leave behind, what we need to work on. None of us are perfect. That's the other thing I wanted to point out about the role of the teacher. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make a mistake in front of the child. In fact, that was something I did quite often, actually. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not on purpose. But it's kind of making an error in a lesson or whatever you're doing shows them that you're human, and calling it out. You're comfortable with that failure, and that's okay. You're going to do what you need to do to correct it and to move on. So the teacher in a Montessori classroom, I'm going to read a little bit here. The teacher in a Montessori classroom has a special role as observer, as well as preparer of the environment. So that's something we're going to talk about in a minute. She wrote extensively about the role of the teacher in the classroom and the spiritual journey that's required before you bring Montessori into your learning environment. Montessori, viewed the teacher as the guide, as the observer, but also as the scientist, which I love, and that's something that really stuck with me in my training, because as a teacher, you not only need to be there and teach the child, but you need to find ways to connect with the child, to ignite the child, to want to learn more. Right? That takes science, right? You have to figure out a way to connect with them. You have to figure out a way to tap into that child's potential. It's very, very tricky. So that's where the preparation of the environment comes in. If you don't prepare yourself, then preparing the environment is going to be very, very difficult. Because you're not going to be able to let your guard down enough to get to know that child and to connect with that child. I'm going to read you another quote by E.M. Standing. The role of the Montessori directress resembles more that of a guardian angel than a teacher of the old type. And I love that. How great is that? And it's true. It's so true. So the directress is one of two essential elements in the Montessori classroom. The other element is the environment itself. So you've got the environment and you've got the teacher. So you have to prepare yourself and you have to prepare your environment. And I'm trying to figure out how to put this to you guys. The directress must not only train in order to effectively prepare for the classroom, she must also train to prepare herself for the classroom. Okay? In terms of preparer of the environment, it's important that the directress, you set the stage for the child's learning, okay? So you have to be able to understand the strengths and the weaknesses of not only the children, but of yourself. So the children, they literally soak up everything in the classroom, right? So they're going to soak up your energy, and they're going to soak up your, your attitude, whether you like it or not, okay? So the presence of the teacher or the parent in that learning environment for the child is very much part of the environment. Consider yourself a piece of furniture, folks. The kids feel our spirit, for better or for worse. So the more we can prepare ourselves before we enter the classroom, the better off we'll be. So now I bet you're asking how. I mean, I could talk forever about preparing yourself, but I can tell you, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little cheat sheet here. Here's one of the many surprises you guys are going to get here. Let's see. I actually created a cheat sheet based on A Way of Learning, which is an old kind of go-to Montessori learning book. It was actually published in 1973 by a woman named Anne Burke Newbert. So I wrote out a little cheat sheet. It's called The Role of a Montessori Teacher, and it's based on her work. Montessori teachers are the dynamic link between children and the prepared environment. They systematically observe their students and interpret their needs. They are constantly experimenting, modifying the environment to meet their perceptions of each child's needs and interests, and effectively noting the result. Objectively, I should say. They are a preparer of the environment. They carefully evaluate the effectiveness of their work. They observe and evaluate. They're supportive. They facilitate communication. They interpret. They present clear, interesting, and relevant lessons. They model desirable behavior. They are peace educators. They are diagnosticians. So that's like you're interpreting a child's development and growth. That's huge. Okay, did you just hear everything I listed there? It's huge. It's a huge, huge, huge role. If you do not prepare yourself, you will not be effective. So I'm going to give you guys that little nugget so you can print it out and paste it up on the wall as good reminders. Let's see if I can find it. I'm just going to send you the Dropbox file. Role of the, let's see. Okay, download this puppy. Sorry, guys. So a couple of ways that you can prepare yourself, okay? So I'm going to talk specifically about how I do it. Besides like reading everything that Eileen Wolf ever wrote, I really take a lot of time for self-care. Not a lot of time, but I make sure to do it. I'm a runner. That's important to me to stay balanced. I have worked meditation into my day. Just like 2 to 5 minutes in the morning and then 5 to 10 minutes later in the day when I need a reset. What you need to do is identify your triggers. Be very, very aware of the early warning signs of when you're starting to get a little agitated, or again, this is for me. Some of you might get sleepy. Some of you might get ADD. For me, I get super anxious. So how do I, like, what's my go-to in order to mitigate that? So for me, it's running, might be get a glass of water, might be have some tea. So make sure you know your triggers, know the early warning signs, and know what you need to do to mitigate that. Because there's no time. There's no time for the little mommy, daddy mini meltdown, okay? Okay, let me load this up here because I want to make sure I send this to you before we move on. And I realize it's already been a half an hour, which is like ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm a talking head. I just feel like I have so much I want to share with you guys. But I want to get to the other things too. Okay, copy this link and I'm going to send it over to you. Okay. Oops, I just gave you guys another quote. Okay, so that's a Dropbox file. You should be able to easily access what I just went over for the role of the teacher, those bullet points. Just an awesome, awesome reminder of what it takes for you to be successful in a Montessori learning environment. This is hard to put your finger on, guys, because preparing yourself is not, I can't give you a blueprint to prepare yourself. You have to step back and figure out who you are and what you need. And I believe that in everything in life. So this is not just pertaining to being a teacher, but you have to work really, really hard to understand yourself. Take the time to do it. You have to be thoughtful and mindful about your role in the presence of the child, which is what is so fantastic about practicing positive discipline and positive communication with kids, because all of that, how you respond to kids, your knowledge of their behavior and why they're behaving in certain ways, all of that is part of the aura, part of the energy of your learning environment. Okay? I'm going to get off my soapbox. I want to talk a little bit about preparing the environment now. So we're still only on that first phase, okay? Preparation, preparing yourself. Okay? Go do it. Do something today. Meditate. Download Headspace. It's an awesome app. Hang on a second. I'm going to read some of these comments really quick. Dee Dee's in Toledo, Ohio. So yeah, if you guys are near each other, connect. Create a little Montessori homeschool co-op. Renee's in West Michigan. 7 and 5-year-olds and Montessori 3-year-olds. So we're kind of in the same boat there, lady. Michelle. Deborah's in Kirkland, Ontario. King Kirkland, Ontario. Whoa, you've got your Your hand's full. 4-year-old, 11-year-old, 13-year-old, 27-year-old. Holy smokes. Robin. Oh, Robin. Robin says she's thankful for this, and you are so welcome, my friend. A lot of learning happens at home, regardless of whether you are homeschooling or your kid is in school all day. And that's really what I try to emphasize. Montessori is a lifestyle, so bridge the gap between the classroom and home. It's huge. My friend Amanda Morgan joined. Love Amanda. Mary Catherine, yes, we have to be self-aware. Rock on. Lisa, the author of Nourishing the Spirit, is Eileen Wolf. Hi, Jessica Morris. Oh, thanks, Mary Catherine, for answering the question. Jennifer, agreeing with me. I love you, lady. Okay, Dee Dee, where are you placing the files you're sharing with us? What do you mean? Where are you placing the files? I am just going to add the link in the comments. I'm hoping that you just saw the link. I just sent you a Dropbox folder. Mary Catherine, I love your sheet about the role of the teacher. I want to be clear, I did not come up with those bullet points. I borrowed them. The source is at the base of that principle. So please, I did not come up with that. I mean, brilliant. I mean, come on. Yeah. Okay, Razan, I'm loving your discussion. I'm making the Montessori early childhood course. Oh, you're helping me now. Thanks. That's awesome. You're getting trained. Way to go, lady. All right, guys, I'm going to move on to preparing the environment. And preparing the environment feeds a lot into preparing yourself, because you cannot prepare the environment without preparing yourself. And bringing Montessori into the home is very, very daunting. I get it. Things are expensive. There's a lot of materials, a lot of lessons. But the awesome thing about being a homeschooler is that you have less children to observe and to guide. Okay? Even though I am not saying it's easy, because there's that added layer that you're the mom or the dad, and that is really, really hard. So as much as you can prepare yourself, sit back and observe and really, really get to know your child, the easier you're going to be, the better off you're going to be in preparing the environment. You do not need to put every material into your learning environment. I get it. We don't have a lot of space. Hang on one second. I'm going to read this comment because Dee Dee says, I don't see any links in the comments. So I'm going to have my assistant, Mary Catherine, maybe Mary Catherine can help. And Dee Dee, if something is not coming through, I will connect with you after this live for sure. So preparing the environment, you do not have to put every single material out there. Get to know your child and try to see where your child is at. What's his hook? What is he interested in? And then create works or put out works based on those hooks. You know what? If you've got a 5-year-old at home, chances are you're not going to need to put the pink tower out there. Now, granted, my 7-year-old still likes to hang out with the pink tower, believe me. But it's not going to be a critical piece in the 5-year-old, 6-year-olds area, right? There's a lot of other things that you can put out on the shelves that will feed into where he needs to go and where he needs to lead his learning. So get to know your child, understand where they are in terms of their stage of development, know their hook, okay? And in my Montessori homeschool course, I have an exercise where I make the students identify their child's hooks. I don't care what it is. Again, this is what's so amazing about being a homeschooler or learning at home, is that you can create an entire environment based on your child's hook. It could be dinosaurs. It could be Pokemon. It could be whatever you want. There really are not any rules. And you can place that theme throughout the classroom. Now, I don't know what you would do with Pokemon and the Pink Tower, but if you wanted to do a geography lesson, come on, that's great, right? Combine learning and movement. There are ways to do that without a device, so I highly recommend that. But if your child is interested in dinosaurs, oh my goodness, you can dig deep into so many things when it comes to dinosaurs, right? Geography, history, right? You can do timelines and even like the vocabulary and the language around dinosaurs. So there's just a variety of there's just so much opportunity when it comes to preparing the environment for your children. I can't emphasize that enough. There is a lot more that goes into preparing your environment when it comes to the Montessori materials. They are very, very special. Maria Montessori did not just throw the pink tower out there. She actually created lots and lots of materials and observed the children. Observed them interacting with the materials and working with the materials. So she did her own vetting many years ago with children. So children actually did the work. And then she was able to really define the materials that needed to be in a Montessori classroom. So they're very, very special. They're beautiful, high quality materials. And I can't take the time to go into each of those materials now, but just the main takeaway is you don't have to put every material out there. And you can not easily, but you understand what I'm saying, find your child's hook and create materials around that. Prepare the environment based on your child's interest and stage of development. Okay. The other piece to preparing the environment actually feeds right into phase number 2, which is organization. It is huge. Now I put preparation first because often that takes a lot of time, right? Because you're peeling back the onion here on yourself. You're being a scientist all of a sudden and trying to understand your kids. So that can take quite a bit of time. The organization piece comes in second because it's really almost administrative. It's all about logistics. And step 1 with organization is to find a space for you as the director of the environment. You need to have a space, and I know we don't have a lot of space. Many of us live in small areas, or our homes, small spaces, I should say. So find a drawer. I have in my son's closets, I have those hanging shelves. That could be a good option, but you need to embrace your space and figure out what you need in order to be there for the children. So what are your supplies? Do you need some Post-it notes? Do you need a stapler? Make sure you always have a good pen. Make sure that space is yours, you own it, and it's organized, okay? It could be even just a cabinet in like a command central area of your house. I know that's not ideal because it's kind of mixed up with everything else, but hey, put your label on it. Hey, this is my space, okay? It could be just a storage container that you pull out when learning happens. It could be something that rests underneath a bed, or not rests, is stored underneath a bed so you can pull it out. It could be a roller cart. There's a variety of ideas to create your space. So that's number 1, is define your space. Number 2 is organize it. So we just kind of talked a little bit about that. Figure out what you have, figure out what you need. Bring them together. So you got to take some inventory, you got to figure out what you need to purchase, you got to figure out what's just kind of clutter and get rid of it. You got to buy those supplies. And then you got to figure out how you're going to organize it going forward. So ideas that you're going to need for organization, you're going to need binders for your kids, for record keeping and lesson planning. I recommend an over-the-door shoe organizer for supplies. It's like my favorite thing in the universe. I know I'm kind of crazy, but it's really, really great. And I can give you a link to that too, so that you can see what I'm talking about. Of course, it has shoes in the image here, but it's okay. That's okay. Do this. Okay. Oopsies, where are we? Okay. Again, it could be under the bed, it could be hanging closet shelves, etc. So embrace your space, organize your space. Step 3 is create an organization swipe file, okay, and a vision board, okay. This kind of gets back to preparation of the environment. That's where they kind of overlap a little bit, but it's easy to be overwhelmed by clutter. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the number of options available for organization. I know I am totally guilty of like buying 10 different sizes of storage containers because I think it's going to help me organize, and what ends up happening is that I have 10 different sizes of empty storage containers. So you really got to step back and think about what your system is. So it's funny because if you just go to Google and you do an image search for Montessori classroom design, you're going to come up with a ton of visuals. Granted, a lot of these are for the classroom, so they're not specific to small spaces. By the way, I highly recommend the Montessori notebook. Simone, she's a friend of mine, and she's Montessori trained, and she has a whole piece on Montessori in small spaces. So I highly recommend checking out her work. In fact, I can put a link into the comments here in a moment. But if you just peruse through there, it's kind of like your own little pin board. Pin some of those ideas. You do not have to replicate them. You take what you want, leave what you want. It's just to get ideas, and there's organization ideas that pop up there as well. And then I share a Pinterest board with Simi, who was on this live. I'm not sure if she's still there. It's inspiration for classroom organization. So you can follow that board. Simi and I will add lots of ideas as we see them. Again, you look at them, you say, that's a great idea. That's going to really work in my home. And guys, it's an evolution, right? And I know Simi can attest to this because she has written a lot about her evolution when it comes to organization and record keeping and planning. She talks about the evolution of it, okay? There's not going to be are we back? Okay. There's not going to be an overnight solution for this, okay? But give it a go. So implement a system and then just leave a lot of room for flexibility, okay? And a swipe file is really just kind of your go-to for inspiration and ideas. And I like the idea of creating a vision board, and I mean literally creating a vision board, like having a board where you print out or you sketch out a design and you pin it up there, and you look at that and you're like, that is what I want and that is what I'm going to get. And you know what, guys? It will happen for you. Trust me on that. Let's see. I want to make sure. Let's see. Okay. I think that covers a lot of the organization bit. So let's move, because it is 10:15. Holy smokes, it's been 45 minutes. Okay, hang on. Let me read some quotes here. Alethea. Oh, I'm doing her class right now as well. It's great. So she's doing the Montessori notebook. She has a course about bringing, like, how to create your home Montessori style. So it's awesome. I highly recommend it. Okay, let's move right into the last phase here. So three phrases: preparation of yourself, preparation of the environment. Number 2, organization of yourself, and organization of the environment. And finally, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but if you do not do these 3 things, you will not be successful. That's it, guys, okay? Planning. So planning, I kind of lumped in lesson planning as well as lesson planning. Oh my gosh, I just totally lost my, sorry guys. I think I'm gonna take some water. Lesson planning as well as the how to give lessons. It's critical. Okay, so first we're going to talk about there's a whole bunch of information I wanted to talk to you, but I'm going to have to skip over it, guys. Sorry. We'll talk about it some other time, about normalization and a 3-hour work cycle and how to achieve that in the classroom. Sorry. Okay, so when it comes to planning, you need to do this. So I highly recommend choosing a week or two to sketch out what your next year is going to look like. So create themes, go month by month, create themes, and then break it down to weeks and then to days. And I'm going to give you guys a little freebie here. Where is it? Yes, here we go. It's another Dropbox, so I'm gonna put it in here. But I created this for you guys. It's a weekly plan and progress. Weekly plan and progress documents. My Dropbox is not working right now for some reason. But you need to be able to step back, create a plan for the year, break it down to the months. And that months is really about creating themes. And then the weeks are really, it's a little bit about, it's about plans, understanding where your child is at. It's about organizing your supplies, what do you need for that week, and what you already have, and that sort of thing. But you also need to track the progress of the child. Here we go. Send this to you just to give you an idea. I have a lot of organization documents that are available in my Montessori Homeschool course. So I have a lot of ideas when it comes to lesson planning. I also recommend going on over to Simi's blog at Trillium Montessori, because she has written quite a bit on lesson planning and record keeping. Jennifer is having problems copying the links. Okay, if you guys are having problems, guys, I promise that I will follow up with you, okay? And I will make sure you get all these documents, because they really, really will help you, okay? So yearly, step back, brainstorm, and decide your themes for the year. You also want to understand what your, how you're going to rotate your shelves every month, okay? Because that's something you're going to want to do to keep the kids engaged. You want to create lists about what materials you need for those themes and what you might need to gather or purchase. And you want to create a binder for all of this, for yearly, monthly, weekly, daily. Monthly, you want to create an idea of what your child needs, like kind of a goal. You want to prepare the materials for the shelf. You want to rotate shelf works, and you want to prepare for the calendar, and everything, like the pin poking works, and if there's a holiday or a theme coming up, you got to be on that. And the more that you can plan and use planning documents to help guide you, you're golden. And then, of course, you want to track all of this too. Weekly, you want to create a plan every week for your child. And then at the end of that week, you want to review it and see what went well. Document which lessons you gave, which lessons were spontaneous that were not necessarily on the plan, which you always have to leave room for. You do want to plan for your presentations that week. So if your child's ready to do the binomial cube, make sure that that lesson is worked into the week. You want to be able to take notes on those lessons, and again, just understand what you've introduced to the child, what your child is practicing, and what your child has mastered. It's kind of your big picture view. And then every day, you're going to want to take observations of your child. So I had like a little notebook that I would use. You have to figure out what your observation system is going to look like. You want to talk about the social and emotional observations on these notes. You don't want to just limit it to what lessons you gave and what worked and what didn't and how the child's doing. You really want it to be a holistic observation. And you want to be able to note, again, what the child's mastered, what the next steps are, what's working, what's not, how you might need to mix things up to make sure your child stays on track. So that's really lesson planning. But if you want to talk about planning in terms of how to give a lesson and what the key ingredients of the lesson are, that is super, super important and requires a lot of practice. In fact, I toyed with having that last P be practice, because there's an art to giving a Montessori lesson. And there are specific, I call them key ingredients of the lesson that you want to pay attention to, okay? That's like age range, prereqs, materials, points of interest of that work. So it's one of my favorite parts of the lesson, because it kind of, it gave me a good challenge to find a hook for the child. So the points of interest, to give you an example, like in a pouring work, let's say you're pouring beads into a bowl, like that sound that the beads are making in the bowl, that's a point of interest. So you maybe during the lesson was, oh, do you hear that? That's a nice sound, isn't it? And that will hook the child in. And then you have, of course, how to present the work. So it's step by step for each lesson. Direct aims. So the direct aims of each lesson, they're not going to necessarily be what you think. So the direct aim for the dressing frame, the button dressing frame, is not to learn how to button a shirt. That is an indirect aim. The direct aims are concentration, focus, independence, that sort of thing. And you'll see that again and again in the Montessori lessons. And then each lesson will include a control of error. So that's the built-in feedback mechanism for the child, so the child can lead his own learning. You don't have to intervene. It will include the isolation of quality also. So with the pink tower, right, it's all pink. And so really you're just focusing on the isolation of that shape and the cube, and so there's going to be that for the lessons. And then language, and then also variations and extensions. So variations and extensions come in enormously helpful when you're trying to complete that 3-hour work cycle. You're trying to get the child to continue to be engaged in that pink tower. I'm really picking on the pink tower today, aren't I? Because people often ask me, okay, great, so my 3-year-old did the pink tower in about 10 minutes. Great, she's done with it. What do I do? Well, there's so much more to do with it. You can combine it with the broad stare. You can, there's all sorts of printables. You can match up a square on a piece of paper with the cube. You can create your own 2D pink tower, 3D pink tower. There's so much to do that kids will love. And you can incorporate other types of learning like art and math and that sort of thing. So it's really being aware of all of that. And I talk at length about that in my course, actually. And then, of course, like the how to give a lesson. So you've got all the key ingredients. That's great. Okay, I see this on my piece of paper. Isn't that fantastic? But there's a specific way that you want to present a lesson to a child in terms of your body language, in terms of your voice, in terms of economy of words. So using your body more than your words to indicate, to teach the child, to give the lesson. You want to talk slowly. You want to talk gently and softly. You want to be kind. You want to exaggerate your movements. So when I talked about that, oh my goodness, guys. Whew, I've been talking a long time here. When I talked about the points of interest, so as you're pouring the beads in, oh, listen to that. Just really exaggerating. And if it's like a 3-finger grip, which a lot of a lot of these lessons have the 3-finger grip, like knobless cylinders, knob cylinders, etc. You really want to emphasize that because that's all preparation of writing. You always want to move left to right, up to down, up and down. And then I think utilizing older children to give lessons to younger children is the quality of a lesson I would emphasize. A lot of questions I get from readers are about how to deal with children of multiple ages in the same learning environment. At some point, it's pretty nice to have that 5-year-old to be able to give that 3-year-old a lesson on the Pink Tower, and how great. It's great for communication, great for leadership, great for relationship building, really hones his learning and outcomes for that Pink Tower. Again, I'm picking on it. So I think people forget that sometimes, to lean on the older children. And then, of course, the 3-period lesson, which I love so much. I use it every single day. I'm not kidding. With my 2.5-year-old, it's such a simple and powerful lesson. I've written a whole post on it, actually. It's so if you have a red block, a blue block, and a yellow block, this is the red block. This is the blue block. This is the yellow block. Show me the yellow block. Show me the blue block. Will you give me the red block? Or hand me the red block? And then the last part is, what is? And so you point and then they say blue, red. It's super powerful. So I highly recommend that one. One thing that I do want to mention about planning is really, and I'm going to point you to another free resource here from Voila Montessori. Jean-Marie, she's wonderful. I highly recommend her work as well. But she has a free primary sequence chart on her site. You do have to opt in, but trust me, it's totally worth it to opt into her newsletter. But she gives an overview of every single area of the classroom across age ranges. And she used it in the classroom, and I have one as well. But when I looked at hers, I thought, oh my God, like this is awesome. So it's a really, really good visual and a really good tool to help you plan your lessons and help you track progress, which is huge. Here, I will send you a link to Voila. Oh, 3-period lesson. Yeah, of course. Let's see. And guys, my story is this. Because before you all go, I have mentioned my Montessori Homeschool course several times, right? So I want to let you know that it launches in a couple of weeks. There's the 3-period lesson link right there. I think I gave you the right one there. Yeah, naming, recognition, recall. Voila. Okay. Back, 8 years ago now, I found myself in love with the Montessori method. I read everything I could about Montessori. I purchased this book. I wasn't even in training yet. I purchased The Absorbent Mind. I purchased E.M. Standing, Her Life and Work. I couldn't get enough of this philosophy. I loved it. So much of it resonated with me and how I wanted to raise my children, how I truly believed a child learns, how a child needs to develop. Oopsies. How I love the social and emotional development aspects of it and so on. But what I found was missing was the lessons, the step-by-steps. How do you move through a lesson? How do you prepare yourself? How do you prepare the environment? How do you give a lesson? What's the scope of lessons? What's the sequence of lessons? What's practical life from a philosophical standpoint? What's sensorial? Math, language, what? What you guys are going to find is that there is a ton of information out there. A lot of it's free, which is great. But there's a lot of crap material out there too. Excuse me for saying that. But I don't mean to say That was a little harsh, guys. I'm sorry. It's perhaps not authentic. A lot of people are slapping the Montessori name on a lot of activities. Even schools are calling themselves Montessori, and they're not necessarily Montessori. So, and I got all that, but I got stuck. And I felt like I needed something more. And so at that point, I decided to go get training. And I was planning on homeschooling my children. I fell in love with the classroom, went into the classroom, realized very, very quickly that my training made a huge difference in our learning environment at home and my parenting and how I wanted to raise our kids. So I went off and I got trained. I had intensive 6-week training. I had 16 Saturdays over the year. I prepared albums for each area of the classroom. Check this out. Here's my sensorial album. Look at that puppy. Seriously, lots and lots of work. I spent over $5,000 going to this program, and it was awesome. I gathered everything I needed to feel prepared to integrate Montessori into my home learning environment. But how fortunate was I? I had the opportunity, I had the luxury, I'll say it, I had the luxury of the time, I had support of my family, and I get that that is not possible for everyone, okay? And that's why I created this course. You all gave me validation back in the spring. You want this, you crave this, okay? So I opened my sales cart to the My Montessori Homeschooling course a few weeks ago now, I think September 22nd, and there was early bird pricing of $147, and there's also a payment plan. And that pricing has since gone up to $197. But what I will tell you is that if you use the promo code FBLIVE, all caps, you get a fun little discount. But you have to enroll while we're on this live here. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the course. To get to enroll, go to marniecraycroft.com/now. Okay? And that will take you to the enrollment page. I'll give it to you right now, actually. Where are we? marniecraycroft.com/now. So, if you enroll today, you get a nice little discount there, okay? I don't want you all to have to pay $6,000 to get Montessori trained. I respect you all so much with your desire to bring Montessori into your homes in an authentic way, through your parenting, through your homeschooling, through your supplemental learning at home. So that's why I brought my training and my experience as a parent from the classroom. I brought it all into one comprehensive course so that you all could access it. You have lifetime access to the content, okay? So this is the first time I'm doing this. So the price it's priced very, very well for version 1.0. You have access for a lifetime. And what that means is that my next launch, the price is going to double. And that's the feedback I've received from the community. Wow, Marnie, this is worth a lot more than $197. And I appreciate that feedback, but I also want to make it affordable for you all. But to give you an idea of what is included in the course, first of all, it's a self-study program, and version 1.0 is going to be drip. So every week you'll get access to a new module. There are 13 modules. It will offer you everything you need to know, like everything you need to bring Montessori into your home learning environment. And the best thing about it is that you also get the community of support and encouragement in a private Facebook group. So I've taken these hundreds of hours of training and parenting, and I have delivered it into this program. So what you're going to get is, the first module is administration, which is such an exciting title, but it's so important. And administration is, I'm going to actually read you the specific lessons. Okay, so it's the record keeping and lesson planning, and I give you all sorts of tools to do that. I give you step by step on how to create your binders. We do an exercise in creating your ideal learning day. We talk about common obstacles and how to deal with them. I have a really, really great exercise where you come up with all of your obstacles and we brainstorm scenarios. So it's like a problem-solving exercise, and that means you get to do it with all of your classmates. And right now there are 35 students enrolled in the course, which is phenomenal. I'm so excited. It's an amazing community of people. Module 1, administration, not that exciting. Module 2 is all about preparation, a lot of what we just talked about. You'll go through exercises of preparing yourself and preparing the environment. You will actually sketch your space out. So if you have a small space, you can kind of sketch it out, and that's where the group comes in really, really handy, because you can bounce ideas off from people. And we talk about control of error and isolation of qualities. That goes back to the lesson. That goes back to the materials, and we'll dig deep into the Montessori materials, and you'll get to create your own do-it-yourself Montessori materials. So what you'll do is look at all the materials and say, what do I think I can create on my own? Maybe it'll be the rough and smooth boards, who knows, whatever you want, smelling bottles. But the idea is, I don't want you all to think that you have to break the bank and buy every single Montessori material. So there's going to be a lot of do-it-yourself tutorials and resources available to you within this program. Module 3 is the art of the lesson. So we talked a little bit about that today, but we talk about the normalized child and the 3-hour work period. Those are two really, really critical components of the Montessori classroom. We talk about the key ingredients of the lesson. You have a template, but you've got to figure out a way to transition that template. Use that template in order to deliver the lesson in an effective way to the child. So how to give that lesson. So one exercise is you get to create your own lesson and then present it live in the group. And don't be totally freaked out about that, because the group is consider it family, okay? And we talk a lot about the work cycle and how to get through that 3-hour work cycle. We talk about false fatigue and what does that mean and how to manage it. It's like my nemesis. And then the rest of the modules are all the areas of the classroom. So module 4 is practical life. So we'll talk about philosophy. We'll talk about the sequence, and we will dig deep into every single lesson within practical life. Every single lesson is going to be presented in this course. And then we have a variety of reflections as well for each module. I didn't mention that. So journal, and this is all gets back to that spiritual journey and preparing yourself for the classroom. You have reflection. So sometimes I give you a quote, sometimes I give you a scenario, and what you can do is journal. Or you know what? You can journal. I'm a journaler, so I like to journal, but you can just also share ideas and thoughts with the group. It's however you want, but I just want to keep you guys reflecting and moving forward in your training in that way. Module 5 is sensorial, so we talk about the philosophy, we talk about the lesson sequence, and then we go into every single area: visual sense, olfactory, gustatory, or gustatory, tomato, tactile, visual, auditory, stereognostic, and we cover it all. The next is language, and again, same thing, philosophy, sequence. And then we go through pre-reading, pink series, blue series, green series, and we even get into grammar. We talk a lot about how to organize materials and resources that will help in that area. We get into math, philosophy, and sequence. We talk about numeration. We talk about what to do, like what some good pre-math lessons are. We talk about place value and the decimal system when we talk about linear counting. And then finally, memorization, that final piece of the math section. Module 8's geography, Module 9 is history. And if you guys, for some of you that may have just joined, if you go to marniecraycraft.com/now, use the promo code FBLive, all caps, you'll get a discount on the course, which is huge. It ends at the end of this live. Sorry for those of you watching this as a replay. We go, Module 9 is history, Module 10 is life sciences, Module 11 is art, and Module 12 is a peace curriculum. I'm so excited about this. And then we have tons of extras. So you have bonuses like access to this private Facebook group, a comprehensive list of variations and extensions that you can print out, and you can say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this brown stare now? That'll be your go-to guide for that, to get you through that 3-hour work cycle and to help your child move forward. There'll be resource lists. There'll be an excursion brainstorm list and also bonus lessons, which I really wanted to include in the course, but I decided to include them as bonus lessons because they didn't really fit in, and I hope that you all will do these, or I hope that the students do these bonus lessons, but I wanted to really give students tools to immediately start implementing into their homeschool. And these bonus lessons are a lot about defining your Montessori and defining your Montessori homeschool. Montessori to me is different than Montessori to you, and how do we come to designing your Montessori homeschool? And then I have a bonus lesson on positive discipline and communication. I have a bonus lesson on conflict resolution, and also a bonus lesson on taking Montessori outside. I have loads of printables. I have access to Montessori materials. I have everything you need to make it happen. I promise. Okay, I want to answer some comments here. Oh, Jennifer, so excited to train with you, Marnie. Thanks, darling. Suwa, I hope I pronounced that correctly, my dear. Is your course suitable for beginners and newcomers to Montessori? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I was when I took my training. And you'll find that there's a lot of background for parenting generally that you can take away from the course and implement right away. And for me, I needed a lot of time to really process Montessori. And I can't emphasize enough, Montessori is a lifestyle. Okay, so this course delivers all the areas of the classroom and the learning, but it's stuff that you can integrate into your home if you have the knowledge. You don't have to be super strict about lesson planning and things like that. If you have a younger child, it's really about how to interact with the child, how to speak to them, and how to teach them in a Montessori way. Erin Garibay, hi, what's a coupon code again? Okay, so go to marniecraycraft.com, and I think I put it in the comments. Yeah, marniecraycraft.com /now. And I guess when I'm done the live, the links will work, is what I'm hearing. But that takes you to the sales page, and then the coupon code is FBLive, all caps. Okay, and I also want to mention that I have an affiliate program. And it's awesome. It's 50% commissions. So if you have a co-op, or if you have friends that would be interested in taking this course with you, you get 50% on any referral that you bring into the program. So that's pretty awesome. It kind of pays for itself after 2 referrals. Let me make sure I have everyone else's. Oh, Dee Dee, could you please expand on the master program? Yeah, actually, and Jennifer's in the master program. Master program is identical to the classic program, but you get me. You get 6 one-on-one sessions with me, so we can discuss whatever you want. You can go over specific scenarios, obstacles that you're dealing with at that moment. We can work together to go through lesson by lesson by lesson. You can practice giving a lesson with me. We can just really, really go deep, and I can coach you through that. And I think I wrote on the sales page, and you know what? I'm not even sure. I'll have to add the master plan up there again. I think I may have removed it, but just because I was working on the visual, not because it doesn't exist. I put 6 30-minute sessions, but I'm going to give you some wiggle room there, okay? Trust me on that. And plus, so that's really where that added value comes in, that one-on-one time with me. It's one-on-one coaching, okay? So I give live coaching sessions every week or I will be giving live coaching sessions every week in the private Facebook group, but this is separate from that. Okay, and in the private Facebook group, by the way, I'm popping in and out, or I will be popping in and out throughout the week, but I have specific office hours a few times every week where I'm going to be there. So if you have specific questions that you want me to answer real time, I will be in the group during that time. So I think that will be helpful. Okay, hang on a second. Alethea, kids awake, computer away. You're funny. Alethea, if you want to enroll in the course with the promo code, it's dead after this live. So it's FB Live, all caps. Suwa, what's the difference between classic and master? So I just explained that a little bit, Suwa. I hope I answered your question, but basically they're identical. The main difference is the coaching sessions with me, one-on-one coaching sessions. And then Erin, so if we are completely new to Montessori, this is still a good course to start with. I think yes, because we go over everything from philosophy. I think it says that my video's stopped, but anyway, I don't know why my connection's weak, but we'll go over philosophy, we'll go over the lessons, we go over organization, we go over learning, like we go over classroom setup or home learning environment setup. I deliver so many resources to you guys. It's in the bonus lessons are actually, I would argue, well, a lot of this is geared towards parents, but the bonus lessons is where I talk about positive discipline and where I talk about conflict resolution and positive communication and things like that, which is Montessori parenting, really. So I would say yes, Erin. You can give it a go. I do have a money-back guarantee. So if it's something that's not working for you or you think isn't relevant, then we can talk about that. Absolutely. There are payment plans. I just want you guys to know that. The classic course, which is the 13 modules with all the bonuses and extras, is $197. With the promo code, you get a fun little discount, but there also is a payment plan. And please let me know if you want the payment plan, and I will create a separate promo code for that so that you do get that special little discount. And the same goes for the master. There is a payment plan for the master. So it's $297. You get a fun little promo code. And then you have the 37 for it's a 6-month payment plan. Okay, so there are payment plan options, absolutely. Oh my goodness, I covered a lot of stuff, you guys, and I appreciate you allowing me to kind of jump here and there. It kind of brings home the point that it's comprehensive, and Montessori weaves through not only all the areas of the classroom, but areas of life when it comes to social and emotional, organization, preparation, and so on. It's all connected, so it's hard to kind of silo it. It's not siloed. So I want to go back to the end with the 3 phases, right? 3 critical phases that you absolutely must do if you want to bring Montessori into your home learning environment. You must prepare yourself and prepare the environment. You must organize. You have to organize your space. You have to organize your materials, and you have to plan. You have to plan with your scope and sequence, your lesson planning for the year, for the month, for the week, and for the day. And you have to plan the lessons and how to give the lessons and what are the key ingredients to the lessons. What's the sequence? What do I give after a child has mastered the pink tower? What's the next lesson to give, and how do I do that? So pop. That is the pop you need to start That's the pop you need to design your Montessori homeschool. Okay? Oh, Erin. Okay. I'm sorry. Erin says, yes, I will do that, you guys. Here, let me do that right now because I got it right here. Coupons. Okay. New coupon. I'm doing it right now. So you want the payment plan. That's the biggest top secret what the discount is. Okay. Okay. Okay, so try that promo code again, all caps, FB Live, and it should work for. I did the classic payment plan. If anyone wants a master payment plan, please let me know. I want to make sure I covered everyone's. Sua, okay. You guys are awesome. I will make sure you get all those printables as well that I mentioned. And, okay, I think I answered everyone's questions. Guys, you're awesome. And thank you for letting me be a part of this journey with you. And I appreciate you so much. And I really look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. And you know what? Even if you don't enroll in MMH, which is my Montessori homeschool, I can walk away today knowing that you learned something and that you hopefully feel inspired to do something in your environment to integrate Montessori. I constantly offer free content on my blog, so definitely check it out, carousalorange.com. Subscribe to these Facebook Lives. I do them once a week, generally on Tuesdays, and so you'll get a notification. Subscribe to my newsletter, share with friends. Let's build this tribe. Let's build the community and make it happen. You guys rock, and it makes me all warm and fuzzy. And I have a private Montessori Living and Learning group that you all should join too. It's just facebook.com/groups/Montessori in the home. And the group is growing so awesomely fast. It's so inspirational to me to know that there's so many people out there that want to live the Montessori lifestyle and bring it into their home. And it's like family. That's the vibe I want. Family, okay? We're kind, we're supportive, and we're there for each other. So that's it. Love you guys. Have awesome days. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me and get in touch with questions, etc. And I'm pretty easy to work with. So if you have any tough questions, please don't hesitate to ask, okay? I'm here for ya. Sorry, Jennifer says the email definitely helped because I'm not on Facebook much. Thanks so much. Well, Jennifer, you've got to be on Facebook at least for the private MMH group because that's where we're going to do all of our, a lot of our interacting, okay? So just do me that favor. All right, Robin, thank you. You are so welcome. All right, guys. It's almost 11 o'clock here, and I need to, maybe work on my course here. See, look, you can see. I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm working on here. It's top secret. Oh, I can't show you. It's top secret. Look at all that good stuff, you guys. It's awesome. So much fun. So much fun. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.